Paper Mill Playhouse acknowledges that our theater stands on the traditional land of the Lenni Lenape. We honor the land and the indigenous people who inhabited it for thousands of years before European settlers arrived.
Welcome to Paper Mill Prologues. I'm Lorna Jordan, Education Outreach Associate at Paper Mill Playhouse, and I'm very excited to talk to you about the feel-good musical comedy Sister Act, based on the 1992 hit film. The goal of Prologues is to give our audience an extra layer of insight and context for our productions. So to get a deeper understanding of this production, we're going to explore the career of Sister Act's composer, Alan Menken, musical styles of the 1970s, and different forms of music and spiritual worship around the world. For over 4 decades, composer Alan Menken has created some of the most beloved songs and musical scores for stage and screen. He's known worldwide for his many works with the Walt Disney Company, including The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin, as well as Broadway stage musicals Little Shop of Horrors, Newsies, and A Bronx Tale. Alan Menken was born in 1949 in New York City to actress Judy Menken and dentist Norman Menken. His parents were great lovers of music and theater and began giving Alan musical lessons at a young age. He started composing music as early as 9 years old, after his piano and violin teachers discovered that he would make up his own renditions of Beethoven sonatas during practice. Luckily, they encouraged the young musician to continue creating his own melodies. By the time he entered college in 1968, Menken had already written music and lyrics for his first full musical, Separate Ways. Produced at New York University's Hall of Fame Playhouse, this rock and roll-inspired score blended styles of popular music with a traditional musical theater sound, which would soon become a staple in Menken's compositions. Upon graduating with a degree in musicology in 1971, Menken continued to write and perform songs for club acts, musical reviews, and even TV shows like Sesame Street. In those days, he worked almost exclusively as both a composer and lyricist. That is, until he met lyricist and director Howard Ashman in 1978. This newly formed musical duo's first collaboration was the off-Broadway production of Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, based on the 1965 novel. It was an ambitious show for an off-Broadway stage, and unfortunately, the production closed after only 6 weeks. Despite the hurdles of their first collaboration, Menken and Ashman continued to work together, creating music and lyrics for the off-Broadway musical Little Shop of Horrors in 1982. This horror comedy musical, adapted from the 1960s film, blended elements of rock and roll, doo-wop, and early Motown music. Little Shop was an immediate smash hit and was soon after brought back to the big screen. This began opening doors to Hollywood for Menken and Ashman. In 1986, Ashman invited Menken to work with him on a new musical film at Walt Disney Animation Studios called The Little Mermaid. The first fairy tale in over 40 years to join Disney's canon of animated musicals, The Little Mermaid became an instant classic, ushering in a new golden age for Disney and earning Menken and Ashman their first Oscars for Best Score and Best Song. The duo continued to collaborate on music for the Disney films Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin until Ashman's untimely passing in 1991. Despite this tragic loss, Menken continued to compose for Disney, collaborating with lyricists like Tim Rice and Jack Feldman to create music that would define a generation. In the years that followed, Menken would create music for beloved films like Hercules, Enchanted, Tangled, and many more. Here at Paper Mill, we have had the pleasure of producing several musicals composed by Mr. Menken, including Newsies, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and A Bronx Tale. And after years of development, we are so excited to present Disney's Hercules on our stage next season. If you're a fan of Mr. Menken's music just like us, we hope to see you this summer at our New Voices concert, A Whole New World, a tribute to Alan Menken, performed by Paper Mill's talented conservatory students. When adapting an existing story for the stage, creators must often think of ways to elevate or change elements of the original story to unlock new possibilities for the adaptation. In the case of Sister Act, Menken, along with his fellow creatives, decided to change the film's original setting of 1990s Reno to 1970s Philadelphia for the musical. In a 2013 interview, Menken spoke about the inspiration behind this change. He stated, "I had always wanted to do a musical using disco and 70s pop music because it's such a rich palette, such a rich musical vocabulary that really hadn't been drawn on, and it's perfect for Sister Act because of the distance between the style and intent of disco and funk music and the convent. It's about as broad as you can get." This approach to the score also allowed Menken and lyricist Glenn Slater to draw inspiration from disco's predecessor, Philadelphia Soul. Leading up to the 1970s, the city of Philadelphia had especially vibrant scenes in rhythm and blues, gospel, and soul music. In 1971, songwriters Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff founded Philadelphia International Records. Along with producer and artist Tom Bell, Gamble and Huff emerged as the chief architects of the Philadelphia sound, producing music for local artists such as Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Billy Paul,
Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on.
and Patti LaBelle. This signature sound of funky backbeats laden with strings and horns, hard-driving rhythms, and melodious harmonies defined Philly soul as its own innovative genre. Perhaps the best example of this signature sound can be heard in the unforgettable Soul Train theme song, TSOP, The Sound of Philadelphia. Released by the record label's in-house session musicians in 1974, TSOP became an anthem of Philadelphia soul. This sound swept the nation, even attracting out-of-town artists like the OJs and the Jacksons, who looked to capture some of Gamble and Huff's magic. Part of what made the music produced at Philadelphia International Records so magical was that songs were tailor-made for each artist. In a recent interview, Gamble stated, "Our songs were different. They were like food for hungry souls." But at the heart of their music were lyrics that expressed universal messages of love, unity, and justice that still resonate with music lovers today. Just last year, Gamble and Huff appeared on CBS Philly to talk about these messages in their songs.
I mean, we were social conscious, I put that way, because our antennas was always up.
There's so much hatred, war and poverty.
The whole object of it was to write songs that would inspire people to be better human beings.
Inspiration to last for generations.
Wake up, everybody.
Happy 50th anniversary, and thank you.
No more.
The rhythms and vocal styles that Gamble, Huff, and Philly soul artists popularized laid much of the groundwork for disco. Artists like Earth, Wind & Fire, Donna Summer, and the Bee Gees would emerge to bring disco fever into the 70s and 80s. In a similar fashion to Philly soul, disco combined an R&B style with funk rhythms and pop vocals, but what set disco apart from other genres was its heavy utilization of electronic instruments like synthesizers and four-on-the-floor dance beats. This electric sound filled nightclubs across the country. Paired with its own dance moves, hairstyles, and fashion trends, disco was not just a music genre, but a cultural phenomenon. It's no wonder that Menken and collaborators wanted to celebrate this unforgettable era in Sister Act. Just like in the 1992 film, the plot of Sister Act is set in motion when disco diva Dolores Van Cartier witnesses a murder and must go into hiding in a convent, where she helps her fellow sisters find their voices in the church choir. Traditionally, in the Catholic Church, liturgical songs are performed as part of religious ceremonies, celebrations, and gatherings such as Mass. This tradition was passed on in the early years of the Church from the ancient Romans, who believed that music was a medium that had connections to the forces of nature and possessed the power to affect human thought and conduct. This gave rise to the belief in the Church that music was to be the servant of religion by opening the mind to Christian teachings and disposing the soul to holy thoughts. Beyond the Catholic Church, music can be found at the center of countless forms of spiritual worship and religious traditions around the world. In monasteries of the Ladakh region of India, Buddhist lamas chant sacred texts representing the spirit, philosophy, and teachings of the Buddha. Instruments such as bells, drums, cymbals, and trumpets lend musicality and rhythm to the chanting. In Hindu traditions, bhajan and kirtan are devotional songs and chants with roots in ancient metric and music traditions. The two performance arts are closely related, sharing common aims, subjects, and musical themes. While the structure may differ regionally, bhajans are typically performed by a soloist or group in unison, while kirtans often feature team performances with call and response mantras. It is a common belief that the more people who join the kirtan, the more powerful it will be. In Judaism, a hazan, or cantor, is a trained vocalist and member of the clergy who leads the congregation in song and prayer. When utilized in synagogue rituals, devotional songs are often sung a cappella, meaning without instruments, or with simple accompaniment from an organ or horn. In contrast, celebratory events such as weddings and bar mitzvahs will often feature traditional songs that are upbeat with rhythmic instruments and group vocals. For nearly 100 years, perhaps one of the most influential genres in both religious and secular music has been gospel.
Were you there when the crucified my Lord?
Gospel is a form of rhythmic Christian music rooted in the solo and responsive singing of Southern Black churches. The development of gospel coincided with, and is germane to, the development of rhythm and blues, soul, and rock and roll. The genre continues to make a worldwide impact on popular music today, from houses of worship to the world of musical theater. Now, I'm pleased to introduce the creative team and cast of Sister Act. Direction by Jerry Zaks is recreated by Stephen Beckler, with choreography by Anthony Van Lost, recreated by Janet Rothermill, and music direction by Christopher Babbage. As many Paper Mill audiences may know, Sister Act was initially set to open in the spring of 2020. After a long hiatus, we are so excited to welcome back returning cast members such as Nicole Vanessa Ortiz, Jaron Muse, Anthony Alfaro, Diane J. Findley, and Paper Mill alumnus Dion Simmons-Greer. For a full list of our fabulous cast and creative team, check out our digital program on the Paper Mill app. Thank you all for joining us at Paper Mill Playhouse for our 84th season. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy the show.